new ideas about how do you get that pushed out?
It is a great question. Unfortunately, we still have, on average, about half the country who doesn't even show up to vote. So when we look at, well, these are the people who the country really wants, well, that's only the people who are still showing up to vote. There's almost half the country who's completely disillusioned. They're like, man, this is a lost cause. It won't even make a difference. Or they're saying, well, I don't have anybody I'm inspired to go and vote for. Whatever the reasons are that people are staying home. I really believe that we as voters must hold our leaders to a higher standard and not just settle for the lowest common denominator. And part of that is holding them accountable. One of the things when I was a Democrat, and I left the Democratic Party a couple of years ago for a whole host of reasons, but one of the things that used to drive me nuts, even when I was vice chair of the DNC, was going to all of these different party events and hearing all the stump speeches, and in almost every one they say, vote blue no matter who. What a horrible message. Vote blue no matter who, and if Republicans had a version of that, I'm not aware that they did, but if they did,
they're not as potent.
They're not as potent.
We're working on those hearts.
We have to hold our leaders to a higher standard. I'm not going to vote for you just because of the letter next to your name. Tell me what you stand for. Tell me about your commitment to the Constitution. Tell me about how you're going to make decisions about the most important things that we share. We're not going to agree on everything. We're not going to agree on everything. But when we have our foundation as these fundamental principles, our Constitution as the common ground that we stand on, that would be a big step up from where we are today.
And let me add real quick to that, and I'll come to the gentleman in the front row. You know, sometimes we don't really do a lot of research. We hear a speech that's, well, I agree with that. We don't really do our homework. Is this person a person of character? What's their track record? Are they involved in giving back? What kind of family life? Can they manage their own finances? All the different things there. We hear somebody give a rousing, loud, boisterous speech, and we say, hey, that's our guy, because I just heard a 30-minute speech. Well, a lot of times, if that person has never faced adversity successfully and has gone through the battle and has stood test of time, a lot of times when they get in that environment, they get swallowed up. I can tell you, guys at the state level, when they take a stand against even their own leadership, if that's your first time, that's not the first place that you should go and have to deal with issues. And I think sometimes we as Republicans, we need to do a little better job of vetting the people before we just all get behind them and then realize, well, what happened when they went to Raleigh or they went to Washington? And that's one of the things I think that we can do a better job as well. Yes, sir.